Hey y'all, welcome back to Just Dig It Farms. Y'all come take a walk with me and Jean around the farm today. And we've got some exciting news to share with you guys. You ready to go for a walk?
Certainly.
Feed our babies?
Get out. Come
No
here.
jumping.
Here. Go. Go do your thing. He's so hyper.
Look at this market garden. Look how good this garden's looking. I picked half a big basket of beans last night. And a few okra. Our scarecrow's about had it. He's in pitiful shape.
What up, Chloe? Chloe! Hey, honey. What's up, Bobo?
Hey, babies. Hey, Chloe.
What y'all been doing? Watching it rain? Y'all been watching it rain? Come on.
Hey, Annabelle.
Who's doing your haircut? Where do you get your hair groomed at? Well, how's it going in the barn dominium that y'all are destroying? Y'all want some breakfast? Y'all want some breakfast? Y'all need to clean this out and quit getting stuff in there. Get some fresh water. You got hay all in you. You do that, Chloe? Huh? Did you do that? Yeah. All right. Don't knock me down. Here we go. Quick. Chloe, you need to grow some legs, girl.
Hey, Chloe.
You need taller, Chloe. Chloe.
Hey, babies.
What y'all been doing? Watching TV?
Honey.
Oh, you're out of bed.
Chloe. Hey, baby.
Bah. Over there. Okay, give me 5 on that. Quit looking, don't even think about it. It's just the mail lady. Hurry up, mail lady. Hey, champ. Tell us, did you tell them about the snake that got in your doghouse? Huh? Tell them. You remember? I came out here one day to check on Champ, and he was in his pen barking inside the doghouse. I looked down in there, and there was a doggone snake in there striking at him, and he was just barking at it. Come here, Champ. Champ, sit. And anyway, it was trying to lay eggs inside his doghouse. Champ wasn't too happy. Where are you, Champ?
Thank God it didn't bite him.
We've had a lot of snakes this year. In the last 4 or 5 weeks, we have seen about 4 or 5 snakes. Like we had one, Tracy called me yesterday when I was at work, and there was one in one of the hen boxes again.
Chase got it.
Chase had to get it out and throw it out. Had to get a hoe and pull it out and throw it out. them hens were going crazy, and it had already ate an egg. What's up, chicks? Hey, chick. Hey, you're pretty. Well, we've added some new critters to the farm because we have been having all these snake problems here this year. Well, I've heard lots of good things about ticks, snakes, so come look at these little critters. They're hiding. They're right over here. I got me some guineas. Some lavender ones. Hey, they're scared. I think that snake had them scared too. They might have been crawling up around them, but they're just babies. I think they're about, what, 3 weeks old now? But I can't wait to get them out. We're going to put them out in the orchard. I'm going to build them a house out there, hopefully next week. In puberty.
Chase and I have been cleaning up the garden, so we've been throwing all the spent stuff out here in the chicken coop and letting them clean it up and eat the bugs off of it.
Every so often we come out here and shovel this up, the top layer, and take it and put it in the compost bin, and then we have a process of rotating and we put it in the garden. So they break all this down and fertilize it, and it's really good stuff. Right now it's just a mess because it's been raining a lot. I can hear thunder going on now.
Well, it's starting to rain on us, but we're determined to get this video shot today. Look at my raised beds Gene finished for me. Aren't they cool? I got four. He did this out of recycled material from a building y'all tore down at the hunting club.
That is correct.
Yeah. So he just made me some little raised beds. I'm gonna put strawberries and asparagus together in a couple of them because asparagus beds get real weedy real bad. So I'm gonna underplant them with the strawberries to help keep the weeds from being so bad, and they're both really good companions together. And I think this bed I'm going to do artichokes, and I haven't quite decided what that bed's going to be yet. I'm not sure. But I wanted these raised beds for just like my perennial crops, my perennial vegetables that I wanted to grow, especially asparagus. I'm looking forward to having some fresh asparagus again.
And I'm going to come back and put some trim on the outside to firm up that tin on the top and make it where it's not such a jagged edge. Kind of trim it out, but right now lumber prices are so high, I'm kind of waiting just a tad, let it go down.
So what we're going to do here is Chase sprayed these beds, sprayed in here with some vinegar. We're going to have to spray again, try to kill this grass. Then we're going to put down a cardboard, and then we're going to make a trek through the woods and get some of the logs and wood that's fallen and that's already decomposing, and we're going to put in the bottom of this and make like a little raised hugelkultur bed. So then we'll add some good compost and soil to it, and then I'll be able to plant my asparagus in February. Is about the time you plant asparagus here in zone 8, and strawberries I'll probably plant around November, and then the artichokes I'll probably put in the ground next spring. I'm pretty proud of our tomatoes this year. We've done really good with the training them on these cattle panels. Last year was the first year we grew them on cattle panels, and I didn't really do that good of a job on training them. But this year, Chase and I have been growing these tomatoes, and we've been training them pretty good, I think. We started picking the cherry tomatoes and the Roma tomatoes. The bad thing is we've had the good thing and the bad thing. We've had a lot of rain, which has been awesome because usually this time of year we're in a super bad drought and Jean has to do a naked rain dance to get us some rain. We've had a lot of rain, so the garden's just been going crazy. It's been doing really good, but a lot of rain is also not a great thing for the tomatoes because it causes them to split and crack. They get too much water. It causes different blight and issues. But overall, I think our tomatoes are pretty healthy. Look at these beautiful cherry zinnias. Aren't those pretty? We're having a 4th of July party here this weekend for the Britnell Vincent clan. I'm going to cut some of these red zinnias and my limelight hydrangeas and maybe some blue salvia and make little arrangements for our tables, some red, white, and blue.
Well, Champ's eating one.
Yeah, Champ. I've been harvesting a lot of the chamomile too. I should have got out here earlier this morning and harvested these before it started raining on me, but I've been harvesting all my little sweet little chamomile flowers, and they smell so good. They smell like little apple blossoms. But I've been drying these for my chamomile tea, my sleepy time tea. Let's look at this bed. I had quite a few of you ask me what kind of marigolds these were. They never seen them get this big. This is a mix of, most of these are seeds that I saved from last year's marigolds, and they were called Cracker Jack. So there's just a big mix of different kinds in here, but I think the ones that's so big is probably the Cracker Jacks.
Look at the hummingbirds. Yes.
They love it out here. They especially love those red scarlet beans up there. There are just tons of them up there. But this is more tomatoes and marigolds. And look, I've got spaghetti squash that's creeped up on the panel and growing up on the panel. Look at these sunflowers.
And that spaghetti squash is good. She made some the other night and it was awesome.
It is good. Look how beautiful and big these sunflowers are. Aren't they gorgeous?
Champ is eating Lee. Sunflowers just make you smile. What is that?
Toothache plant.
I don't have any
That's
toothaches.
toothache plant. So if you get a toothache, you can chew on that. And this over here is mullein. And there's some little feverfew trying to pop up in there too. Right there. The little, that's feverfew and that's mullein. I did a video on mullein, all about mullein and the benefits of it last year. So y'all check that out if you're interested in knowing about it. My calendula's playing out. I've been harvesting it every morning, except this morning I didn't, but every morning and drying it to make my salve that I make. But it's starting to play out. Got my coneflowers in there. This is the red zinger hibiscus. So when that starts blooming, I'll be making some hibiscus tea.
Is that what they make zingers out of, with a cream in it?
No. But remember when we were in Guatemala and we had Rosa de Jamaica every day?
Oh, I just
tea?
did not like that.
I loved it. Well, that's what this is made out of.
Tastes like he's drinking a flower.
Well, we're going to have some so you can Remember Guatemala.
Okay.
My anise is blooming. Look, all the bees just love it. And this comfrey's going nuts. I gotta get out here and harvest. I've harvested some, but I've gotta get out here and harvest some more comfrey. I add this to my salve too with that calendula.
Hey, look at our Florida sugar maple. It is happy.
Look how pretty it is.
It's
We
going
got
to
a
be
bird's nest
gorgeous in the fall, especially when it gets older. Yeah, I see that bird nest.
Really pleased with this medicinal border, how it's filled out. I think it's looking really pretty. Plus it's got so much beneficial insects and pollinators and everything. It's just so busy over here all the time. It is just beautiful. I'm loving how this is turning out. This horehound went nuts. I had to cut this stuff back. It was going to seed and it's just going crazy, but I love it. And this coneflower here, echinacea here, it just keeps on performing. I think one of my viewers said this was Cheyenne because I wasn't sure which variety this was. And one of my viewers thought that this might be called Cheyenne, and I think she's right. And here's more feverfew. Isn't this cute, this little yellow button flower?
Not as cute as you, Tracy.
I'm learning more and more and more about my medicinal herbs. And I've just joined that. Well, I've been invited to join this this herb group, medicinal herb group. I'm super excited about that. We meet once a month, and I'm really hoping I can really learn a lot from these ladies. This over here is just a jungle of beauty. Look at this. There's so many things right here. This is the Tulsi basil, lemon verbena. Here's pineapple sage is here. This is, oh, I just broke it. It's okay, I'll dry all that. This is kind of like my little tea garden here that I've kind of made. So I've got pineapple sage, Tulsi basil, lemon verbena, red zinger hibiscus. Here's some bee balm here, and echinacea. But these are like my little tea garden herbs. I've been trying to harvest some of these and dry them, and I'm gonna experiment with making some cool tea blends.
Look at how, since you deadheaded the other day, looking fertilized, look at that.
I know it.
Look at all the new growth. It's just busting.
I know. I went through and got all the roses cleaned up, the deadheaded.
See, it's already starting to put one out right there.
I selectively summer pruned, fertilized. Everything but my farmer's dream got done, and they are already, just in a couple of days, they're just looking so good. This is the red scarlet runner beans, and these, if you're not out here and you just like sneak up, there's like 15 or 20 hummingbirds right here just working it, going crazy over it. So pretty. I haven't really seen any bean pods form yet on the blooms, but I don't care. I'm in love with these blooms and the fact that the hummingbirds are loving it. And it makes a really pretty wall right here. I love it.
Tracy, what do you not love? Because you love everything.
I do love everything. Look at this squash. This squash has been freaking amazing.
You don't love picking it.
I don't love picking it. It itches me to death. Plus, and this is a note to myself, don't plant the squash so close together next year, because it is hard to get in here and pick the squash. In fact, the yellowed leaves and the dieback that you see is mostly from where I've stepped on the stems trying to pick my squash. But we've had well over 150 pounds of squash come out of this garden this year, well over. I've been taking it to the Orville CSA market. We've canned squash. I've put up fried squash that's ready to fry. I've put up freezer squash. We eat squash every day. We're about squashed out. But
Chase
this,
has been cooking squash.
yeah, Chase is even cooking fried squash.
Pretty daggum good.
But this has been like this has been amazing. We've had a great crop of squash. And the very cool thing about this is I haven't had any squash bugs, and I only have one zucchini squash that had squash vine borer and it killed it. But other than that, I've had like no insect issues with this squash. And I think one of the main contributing factors of that is to plant it early, especially in our zone 8. And when we get such hot, humid summers, I think the key to successful squash without all those bugs is to plant squash early spring. Because like I could succession plant squash right now, but I think I'm gonna have a big issue with bugs if I do that. Plus I also interplant and companion plant with the radishes and nasturtiums. Those are good companion plants for your squash. This had mostly like all of the cool season vegetables, so it had kale, rutabagas, turnips, onions, and most all of that has been harvested. I cleaned up the kale and I tried to save and let the new growth come back out, and it's looking pretty good so that we can still eat it. It's a little bit bitter because it likes, it likes the cold weather. It gets better flavor when the cold weather hits it. And this heat makes it a little bit bitter, but not too bad, so it's still good for cooking. So I've just been keeping this to cook with. Our peppers are coming on right here. We got some bell peppers in here. A few. They're in there. There's one. They're almost ready to pick. But in this bed, what we did, Chase and I shoveled out chicken manure that we've had composting over there, and we just put a layer on all those empty spots, and we put some hay on top of it. And I'm just letting this bed and that bed over there just kind of get ready for the next whatever we decide to plant. I haven't quite made my mind up yet. But look at these zinnias. Look at my beautiful cut flower garden. I love this. I love that when you drive up, you see all this beautiful color in these zinnias. This is the amaranth, and I companion planted this with my peppers again this year, and you can see where the flea beetles are destroying it. But there's no flea beetles on my peppers. So it's kind of like a sacrifice plant. But it's also going to make these pretty lines of blooms. Let's see what's over here. So this bed, we cleaned it out. This is where I had broccoli and Brussels and cauliflower, and all that was finished and played out. So we cleaned this out. And in these 4 hills here, I planted more butternut squash because we really love it. And I'm just going to see how it does for me to plant it this late. And right here, I did a couple of rows of some summer wildflowers, and they're popping up. I see some tomatoes over there.
Yes, right? Look at those tomatoes.
Yes. And they really look pretty good considering we've had all this crazy rain. Those don't look like they're splitting. Look how pretty these tomatoes are, all trained and nice and neat and pretty. Now, wait, don't step there. I just planted Chase did actually, sowed some summer wildflower seeds right here. So let's walk around here and look at the tomatoes. Here's basil and tomatoes. Look how pretty they are. Isn't this just pretty to walk down through here?
Oh, there's one that's getting good and ripe. Wow, that's a beautiful one. Good gracious, at the tomatoes there.
I know it. Aren't they pretty? This is so cool to me to walk down through here and have tomatoes on each side. Look at this one. Look how big that one is. It's not gonna be long. We're gonna be eating that on a tomato sandwich. That's been our lunch every day all week.
No worms on them jokers.
Look at this. Look how great they look. I just can't believe it. With all this rain we've had, I can't believe how good they're looking. Now that's a little yuck, but I can cut that out and eat it. But I mean, they really look good. Chase, we did good on our tomatoes. Now these are the marigolds that, the same variety that's planted on the other side there. Cracker Jacks. And they're on the back side of that tomato trellis there. They're doing so good. So
they're
happy
almost
here.
4.5, 5 feet tall.
Look at them. Aren't they pretty? I'm 5'5". They're almost tall as me. Right here is the bird's nest. And it's a cardinal. It's a red cardinal right there. I don't guess she's in there. But she's got babies in there, I think. Look at the clusters of grapes. Isn't that awesome? It won't be long. What was in this bag? Cabbages and white, yellow, and red potatoes. And Chase and I cleaned all this out and made little hills and planted pumpkins in here. And this is those green slate and white pumpkins. These are gonna be really, really pretty. Today I am going to plant some pumpkins, yay! And I'm gonna do these beautiful decorative pumpkins. I've got this, I don't know how to say it, Jardale, I have no idea. But the pretty gray, slate, green pumpkin. And this one right here, which is the flat white boar pumpkin, is gonna be so pretty. So I'm gonna plant these two in this bed. And then in the market garden over there, you can see it right over there, I've saved a space to plant pumpkins over there as well. And over there, I'm going to plant the big orange pumpkin. Here's our sweet potatoes. And I love that I planted the sunflowers in there like that. I just wish I would have planted a lot more. I like those sunflowers popping up in the sweet potatoes. It makes it pretty. This is my little sweet Clotilde Super blooming. Isn't that beautiful? Just after I pruned it, cleaned it up, and gave it some fertilizer, look how much it's showing out again. So pretty. This is Phlox, and this one is, I believe this was John Fanik. My lavender's blooming. I harvested a bunch of this lavender for the CSA. I made lavender bundles and lavender sugar cookies for the CSA basket. And this Phlox is called Common Purple. That one's Common Purple. These make great cut flowers too. Really good cut flowers. That's Maggie. Maggie
Hey,
Rose.
Maggie.
These are my seed pods from my echinacea coneflower, and I left them instead of cleaning it up because I want it to reseed. Plus, I also like this cool form and structure in the garden like that. Look at Belinda's dream. Look how pretty Belinda's dream is. Isn't that beautiful? Look how perfect that rose is. Perfect. Look at these limelights blooming. Limelight hydrangea, isn't that beautiful? And this is the Henry Dulberg salvia and the limelight hydrangea. Isn't that going to be a pretty arrangement when I put in those cherry red zinnias? It's going to be beautiful. Now this little hydrangea is Bobo. That's little Bobo. It stays smaller. hydrangea is little lime. So it's just a smaller version of the limelight. And these roses are doing so good now that I've cleaned them up. They're starting to pop again. And then these are more Bobo hydrangeas right here.
Hey, we got a bloom on the gardenia.
All right. Smells good. This is Bobo too. Stays real small and compact. It won't get much bigger than this probably. This phlox is called David phlox. And it's the pretty white phlox.
Champ, quit killing stuff.
And then look at these coneflowers. How pretty they are. They've really multiplied this year. Let's go take a look at the market garden real quick.
These beans are getting close.
Ooh, there's some ready.
Yeah.
I missed those yesterday. God, we're gonna have so many beans. Hopefully we're gonna be able to sell some at market and can a lot of them and put a lot up for us. This is the Mississippi purple hull pink-eyed peas.
Come look at our watermelons. But we've got rows of, bunch of different rows of different kind of pumpkins.
Yep, I'm looking forward to having pumpkins this fall.
I don't see any of them popping up yet. But look at our watermelons. We got some sugar babies and, oh, I don't even remember all the names of them. But
Crimson sweets.
yeah.
Right there. Sugar babies. Gosh, I can't remember what all we planted. I'll have to look in my book. I planted some cantaloupes. I saw one of those down there last night.
You did plant cantaloupe?
Yeah, down at the front.
Okay, that's what. And we put Tracy and Chase put up the scare tape because last year we had the little silver reflective tape that helped scare away crows. Because last year we had crows destroy our watermelons.
We need to put more up.
Check out this baby watermelon right here. It is so humid out here.
It's rough.
I am.
After rain, it
Look at
always
there.
gets hard.
Size of a dime.
Oh, it's amazing how that little bitty thing turns into such a big watermelon.
And then we got okras coming on.
Look at all these watermelons out here.
We've got all kind of okra. We got some red, crimson,
Alabama red, crimson.
Alabama red, crimson tide roll. And we got a lot of that. You can see that it's kind of cool. It's got the red stems. But when you cook it, it's not red anymore. It turns green.
I planted this one and the Clemson spineless. That's the only two varieties I planted this year. And they were seeds that I saved from last year's okra. So that's pretty good. We got 3 long rows of okra.
Well, Joe, I just want to tell you, buddy, I think you've been doing a great job looking out over our crops. You've done great over the past few years. I know you're getting close to retirement, but I just want to thank you for all your hard work. Now we have Peaches and Cream, Silver Queen, and Silver King. So it's all spread out through there. But it's coming along good. this rain has really got the corn jump started. I mean, it like that song, rain makes corn, corn makes whiskey, whiskey makes my Tracy get a little frisky.
We also interplanted some sunflowers out here with corn.
Broke that right off the top. Look at that.
Well, we made it through. We got soaking wet, but we wanted to show you guys around the farm and the garden today, this weekend for 4th of July tour. And we've got some exciting news for you guys. You met Renee, my youngest son Chance's girlfriend, a few weeks ago. We did a video with her when her and Chance were here for a week and introduced you guys to her. This is Chance and Renee, our new girl. They're not married yet, but maybe one day. But this is our new girl, Renee. We love her. And this is Chance, and this is Mr. Finn, our new... We don't have grandbabies yet, so I guess we have granddogs.
Say hey, Finn.
And Chance proposed to Renee last weekend. He planned this big, wonderful proposal. He took her on a hike to Zion National Park in Utah, and he even lined up his cousin, really, Ben, to photograph the proposal, to meet them there and photograph the proposal. And it was beautiful, and he proposed to her, and we are so excited. Our family is growing, and now we're going to have a girl in our family, and I'm so excited. But even more special news is they decided that they wanted to have the wedding here at the farm, and they want Pop, Jean's dad, to marry them and do the wedding. So it's going to be a sweet, sweet, special day out here. And they want to have the wedding right here where we're at in this area with all the cool, gnarly, crazy trees right here by the creek. And they want to string Christmas lights up here. Jean's going to build some cool benches for people to sit on. and it's just going to be a sweet, special day. So what Renee suggested is maybe we do some YouTube videos about decorating for the wedding and what all we do to have an outside farm wedding here. So I think that they're talking about setting the date for November. So I think we're going to have a fall wedding here at the farm, and we are so excited. You look excited.
It's hot up here.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We hope that you all have a blessed and wonderful 4th of July. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next video.
Just dig it. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. Well, there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.